If you're having a really hard time getting started creating talking head videos like the one that you're watching right now, stick around.
Give me all of your life, a perfect storm, a beautiful catastrophe.
And you too, my friend, can also be a content creator. Just hit record. What up, K Crew? Kevin Lee here. Today we are talking about creating talking head videos. So here's the problem. More often than not, I come across content creators who will tell you, just hit the record button. Well, that's all fine and dandy if you're a seasoned content creator. You might be able to just hit record. But I don't know too many content creators today that just hit record and then everything just comes naturally. There has to be some kind of process, some kind of workflow that makes the whole process enjoyable and easy for the content creator. And that's what I wanted to share with you guys today. My process for how I create content, and I actually gotta say, it's a very enjoyable experience. As much as I enjoy creating video content, I really love cooking. In cooking, you have a step-by-step process to take a bunch of ingredients, put them together, and make that into a masterpiece, a dish, something that somebody else is going to enjoy. And I take that same exact process and I apply that to creating video content. You take the ingredients, you mix them all up, and you prepare something, a masterpiece if you will, into something that other people are going to enjoy. I think there's a time and a place to create videos that are kind of on the fly, that doesn't require a process, that doesn't necessarily require a workflow. And there are times when you gotta have a step-by-step process and then you actually have to follow it. Otherwise, something falls short and you end up making a disaster. When it comes to creating your talking head video, the first step is to start with an idea. So when it comes to your ideas, you gotta ask yourself a few questions. First, what's the goal? Who is this really for? How is the person watching it going to really benefit from watching this video? Like, what are the key takeaways that you want to pass on to the person that's consuming your content? Let your ideas guide your thoughts and emotions when it comes to creating these kind of videos. Because if it excites you, then it should excite your audience. And if you have to question whether your audience is going to be down for what you have to share, think about this. It's not about you, it's about your audience. So if this message is aligned with the kind of things that your audience is about, then by all means, go for it. Share that message. The next step is to write it all down. Now, this is my favorite step in the entire process of being a content creator. Taking your ideas and putting it down on paper, jotting it down, just doing a full-on brain dump. Doesn't matter what it looks like, doesn't matter how clean it is, how organized it is, just get it out there as fast as possible. Sometimes we get so caught up in the technical aspects of things, like your penmanship or how organized everything is. Just don't even worry about it. This first step is all about just getting your ideas out there. So if you really struggle with writing it all down, just default to who, what, why, where, when, and how. Answer those questions. And you'll start to find that it gets easier to write everything down and to be able to answer those questions and to really start mapping out where you want to go with your ideas. So let's start with who. Who is this video intended for? If they were sitting directly across from you, what kind of tone would you have to get that message across? Also, you may want to share stories from people who have shared the same experiences as you or as your audience. What? In the simplest summary, what is this? Oh, burp. In the simplest way, explain what this video is about. Is there a problem that needs a solution? Do you have that solution? If there's a value that you want to impart on somebody, if there's a message that you want to share, is there a takeaway? What is it? To answer the how question, for example, how does your solution work? If there's a solution to a problem, how does that solution work? How is that different from anybody else's solution? How is the person who's watching this video going to benefit from it? And then answering the why. What's the goal? What is your agenda? What are you looking to accomplish by creating this video? After watching this video, what should your audience walk away with? How would they benefit from it all? Why should the viewer care about this video? Why should the viewer care about why you care about the video? And these are just a few questions that you can ask yourself when writing everything down. You may or may not get to answer the question. It may not even come to you right then and there. It may come to you later, but just start writing. Now, once you're satisfied with your brain dump, now it's time to really get clear on the overall message. So again, just like in cooking, there's a step-by-step process to take the ingredients, assemble it, and create something out of that. So let's start with the hook. The hook is your first 3 seconds of your video. It gives your viewer an opportunity to decide if this video is for them or not. It's got to capture their attention and pique their interest. Intro. Got to keep it short and simple. Introduce who you are and what you're about. For example, hey, I'm Kevin Lee, welcome to the channel. I help brands create really good video content. So the next step is to tell them what you're going to tell them. It happens in 3 parts. Present the problem, introduce the false belief or the common misconception, and then finally introduce your concept. And then the next step is to actually tell them. Start with a story, tie the conclusion in with your concept, and then hit on your key points using examples to be able to back up your key points. Now, the final step is to actually tell them what you told them. Summarize it, explain how the viewer is going to benefit from this information you just shared. Follow that up with the call to action. So if you're working off of a YouTube channel, like, share, comment, and subscribe. Those are the default. Or if you want to take them offline to your website, or if you want them to opt into your email list, whatever that is, encourage them to take action on the next step. Sign off. Remind them who they just watched and how they can get in touch with you. And then finally, thank them for watching. Now the next step is to actually record it. So now that you've written everything down and really fine-tuned your message, now it's time to actually record. And in this video, I'm not going to talk about what gear to use or what recording settings you need to use. I'm just going to explain that you need to get started on actually recording. And how you go about recording is the important part. So what I suggest here is to record up to 3 times the entire script from start to finish in different locations. Do a basic talking head video covering all the segments. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna change scenes. Go to a different location, go to a place that's lit differently, that has a different environment. Go to a public place and go through your same exact messaging. Changing scenes is gonna go a long way because A, it keeps the visuals appealing, it keeps the audience engaged, and also sometimes the location will inspire you differently and help you kind of shape your message better. So the next step is to shoot some B-roll. Now, A-roll is your talking head video, your monologue. Your B-roll is all the supportive visuals that help with the overall messaging. So shoot B-roll of products, services, interactions, activities, environments, anything that supports your concept or idea. When it comes to editing, I'm not gonna cover any of the technical aspects of editing in this video. If I did, there's just too much to cover and not enough time to do it all. But what I will say is do your best with whatever you have at your disposal right now. Do not get too caught up on how powerful your computer setup or your phone is for editing. Just get it done. Because I promise you, even at your best right now, whether you're a beginner or a seasoned content creator who's a great editor, when you look back at your project, maybe a year from now, maybe 6 months from now, maybe a week from now, you're gonna realize, wow, I could have done better. I can tell you that even my most popular video I've ever done that's had the most views, the most likes, the most engagement was easily the worst video I've ever created. Just do your best with what you're given. Done is better than perfect. Publish it. You just got to get it out there. A lot of times you want to reshoot a lot of your stuff, but if you just publish it, you can always go back and create a new version of that same video that you just created months down the line. You got to just publish it and move on. If you're starting out and you don't really have much of an audience, your personal social media platform is going to be the best place for you to share your stuff. Hey, me again. I just thought about something. So if you're even remotely shy or bashful about sharing your content with your friends, don't be ashamed. Don't be bashful. Don't be shy about it. Do it. If your friends really truly do support you, they're going to support you. They're going to go out of their way to watch your stuff, provide criticism, whether it's constructive or not. They're going to help give you the feedback that you need and the support and reinforcement that you need to continue creating content, because there are a lot of people out there who are either for you or not for you. And the people who are for you are going to be the ones that are going to help drive you as a content creator or as a brand. So just keep going. Don't be ashamed. Post it. Share it. Back to the show. So let's say you publish your video on YouTube. Share that link with all your friends on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, wherever you can, where you can get people to go and check out your content. Share it with some kind of call to action. Remind them to like, share, subscribe, and even comment on your stuff, because the more engagement that you have, the more likely YouTube's going to share your content with more of its audience. When you post your content up, lead with a question. A lot of times it's a question that's going to be tied to your overall concept. For this talking head video, I would probably lead with a question of, what is your favorite camera for creating talking head videos? Answer in the comment section below. Doing that creates engagement. That's what you're really trying to do. You're not just creating content just for the sake of creating content. You're creating content for engagement. Now, going even further than just having a discussion and asking for comments and stuff, create activities, create challenges, things that take the discussion even further down the road and get your audience involved with what you're currently doing. And finally, assess. You can't improve what you can't measure. I love uploading to YouTube because YouTube has a ton of tools for tracking the progress of your videos. You can see every piece of data that's going to help you decide what the next piece of content is, how you're going to go about creating the next video, and so on and so forth. And if you're producing your content and uploading it to a platform that you can't really measure, then ask yourself, what did you learn about your last video? What did you like about the process? What didn't you like about the process? How could you do better? And if you ask yourself those questions after every single video you produce, you're only guaranteed to get better the next time. Creating really good video content doesn't necessarily have to be difficult. You just have to have a process that's easy enough to follow and one that you can recreate every single time regardless of the message that you're trying to share. So let me know what you think. What was your favorite part of this video? What part resonated with you most? Leave that in the comments section below and share your thoughts. I'm Kevin Lee, and I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.